Hello Internet and welcome to the Gabe and Abel Happy Hour, the very first full-length episode. My name is Ace, aka, what am I? Abel. And joining me here today we have history's favourite president, Gabe Abraham Lincoln.
In the streets!
In the streets indeed, my good friend. Okay, so the Gabe and Abel show.
Wow. In the streets indeed, my good friend.
The Gabe and Abel show. Okay, so basically, if you know us from Nintendo Sushi, check the tea. Then
I know, I've got my Shakespeare mug instead.
Then you'll know that for the past 100 episodes, basically what we've done is spout shit for 100 episodes, mainly about Nintendo. But then our friends, fans, everything, were saying that they were enjoying the
tangents
irrelevant bullshit.
We go off on tangents, then we end up getting more passionate about the tangents than we do about actually what we're supposed to be talking about.
So basically what we're doing is every other week, okay, on every odd episode of the podcast, this is 101, what we are doing is we're doing a Gabe and Abel Happy Hour. It's guaranteed to never be exactly an hour.
No.
Sometimes less, probably more.
If this episode's exactly an hour, that'd be weird.
Weird. So
the deal is?
The deal is, I bring a topic, Gabe brings a topic, and one of you brings a topic.
That's 3 topics.
3 topics.
That's practically a picnic.
Exactly.
That's good, that.
So,
chocolate humour.
So, you've thrown me now. So basically what we're going to do is, the audio version is going to come out on Mondays, okay? Then the video version is going to be uploaded to YouTube in segments. Monday, Wednesday, Friday for these. And then on Saturday, the full-length video is going to be released to YouTube. Yeah. Okay, there are a couple of ways to get things a little bit earlier. Do you want to tell them, Gabe?
Okay, so we have the Cooper Club. Okay? That is where you can pay $1 a month to get the audio version of these podcasts, all our podcasts, early. Or you can pay $5 a month. Now, $5 a month will get you an audio version of the podcast early, the video version of the podcast early, and an extra podcast that we're going to record only for the people that are $5 and up. Then if you pay 20 big ones, 20 smackaroons, that reminded me of The Wizard.
Yeah.
20 smackaroons, $20. That means that you can get the audio early, the video early, the extra podcast that we do for the $5 and up, and you can also have a 20-minute Skype conversation with Ace and I every month. If you want to go crazy and you want to do the $35 one, that means that you get...
these are crazy nights.
These are crazy nights, yeah, and crazy horses. If you do the $35 the $35 one means that you get a piece of Nintendo Sushi merchandise every month, which might be a t-shirt like that, might be a hat, could be one of our mugs, which I got with me, could be a lot of things. We've got a lot of cool merchandise. If you want any ideas, go on the store.
NintendoSushi.com/shop.
Yeah, that's it. So you get the merchandise, you'd also get all of the other things, so the Skype conversation, the early video, the extra podcast, and the early audio.
So you do that by NintendoSushi.com/Cooper Club. KOOPACLUB.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at. Right, so now that all that rubbish is over.
So we talked about how this works, haven't we? Topic each.
Yeah.
Who's going to start?
Well, your name's first in the title.
Okay.
My name's not in the title in the slightest.
No. I'll begin.
Okay.
This one's a bit blue.
A bit blue?
A bit blue. Do you want to start with something a bit blue?
It's your topic.
Okay. My topic is one-night stands. Discuss. I want to talk about...
Ting. Oh, yeah.
Disgusting. I want to talk about what your opinion is of them. Is it something that you've done regularly in the past? And how it fares up against relationship. So let's go. So what's your opinion? One night stands. And also any stories.
Don't you talk about it first because it's your topic.
Okay. Well, the reason why this has kind of come up is because I've spoke to a lot of my friends, and it's something that I've not really done. I've had one night stand.
Well, or else it'd be like 2 night, 1 night stands.
Exactly. So I've had one.
If you're gonna do a 1 night stand, just do a 1 night stand.
Exactly, and I've done that. And I've always been a relationship guy. I'm a big believer.
Always been a relationship
guy. I like the little kind of things that come with a relationship. You know, kind of that closeness that you get with someone.
Mm.
That like means a lot more to me than just banging out. So that's like an important thing for me.
Mm.
But I know that you've had a lot of one night stands.
Well, calm down.
You have that, yeah. But I wanted to know your opinion. Like, what do you think of one night stands? Think it's a good thing?
It's difficult to compare the different
Okay, in
things.
what way?
They're
Compare
completely
what?
different things, aren't they? I mean, like,
But you can't have one without the other. Unless you're a real bastard.
you can't have one without the other. I don't understand that.
You can't have one. What I'm saying is that you can't have a relationship and one night stands. You know what I mean? It's like it's a choice. So where do you fall on this radar?
Now,
Yeah, right now.
on relationship.
On relationship. Okay, when you were 20. Oh, you were in a relationship.
I was in a relationship then, so relationship. But yeah, they're just different things. They are completely different things. Okay, so like there's nothing more exciting than the chase.
That's true.
Okay,
That's very true.
It's a very exciting time. Like there's nothing better than just looking at a girl and just going, oh my god, she's whoa, and then
having that kind of reciprocated in some ways and kind of that kind of flirtation. And
yeah, because flirting is very fun. It's a very human thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. It is what it is. And I feel like humans need that. I feel like a one night stand is very different from a female's point of view than it is from a male's point of view.
That's very true.
For a number of different reasons, we can get into.
Yeah, anthropological reasons.
Yeah, okay. If we're going anthropologically, okay, males are meant to spread the seed.
True.
As disgusting as that sounds,
we need to get as many children as possible.
Procreate is the only reason to be alive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's the aim of life. Obviously, things have taken different paths in nature, but if we're going for nature, basically we only exist to breed, and basically,
so as a man, you can sleep with numerous amount of women.
Well, the more women that you sleep with, the more you're kind of putting
yourself out there.
And
for a woman, it's different.
Yeah, and people are attracted to certain women for certain reasons. That's why the whole like hip to waist sort of ratio, the long hair, well kept hair, good nails. Like these things are not just things that women do. It's stuff that's ingrained from us from a long time ago.
I find breasts a weird one though.
You find breasts a weird one?
Yeah, no, because I always like small breasts. I've never been a fan of big ones. But that's like a thing that.
I like small breasts as well, but
but biologically speaking, we should be into the bigger boobs.
Yeah, but there's obviously always deviations from biological programming, or else everyone would be the same.
Yeah.
So we're there to basically jizz in as many guts as possible. So there's a reason why we need to, and women with long hair, like nice hair. That's why a woman with long hair, when she gets her hair cut short, they never get hit on nowhere near as much.
Doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't suit them. It's just a nature thing.
Yeah, it's nature. Sorry, Skunk and Nancy. Those things are indicators that they're more likely to raise a child that's going to be healthy. They're going to birth a child that's healthy, and from a female's point of view,
it's a massive gamble.
Yeah, well,
it's a massive gamble.
They're having to grow a baby.
So it means that
things that work out with the man, traditionally speaking, they have to bring this child up by themselves and often die because they're not the providers. If another man came along in ancient times and wanted sex with that woman or wanted to be with that woman, it was within his right to kill that child.
The baby, yeah. And I think that the whole thing of like, once you're having a child with that person, you've decided on that person. Like at least for the next 9 months, you're not really gonna be getting a child from anyone else.
And the whole when a woman's sort of resisting sex and they're a bit funny. Like a man, you're just like, right, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But with a woman, you do get that. Ooh.
Yeah.
That every single time.
Last minute.
And
fear, last minute resistance.
yeah. Well, that's more of like a player sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a player term.
But like resistance, don't really.
It's not a very nice connotation,
word.
but that's essentially what it is. Is that last minute like fear of like because I can't remember I can't remember where I heard it, but they said it's kind of like betting all your money on black. You know what I mean?
I think that's a mystery thing.
I think that might be a mystery thing. But he said that kind of like this is why like for a woman when it comes to something like sex or something, it's a massive thing because it's the same kind of fear you'd get with gambling.
Well, evolutionary speaking, condoms were
a thing.
Part of our evolution.
Yeah,
it's a very recent thing, and women have all this sort of like pre-existing programming in the brain that sort of dictates whether.
Which again doesn't necessarily mean that hasn't been broken in some ways, and that
no, there's always
a lot of rules. Yeah, exactly.
These are just general sort of
anthropological
instincts.
Yeah,
everything like that, and yeah, but a man has to just sort of get out there and sort of.
So one night stands.
So one night stands. That's what I'm saying.
It's a funny one.
So that's why it's different for men and women. Is that women have this fear, this instant fear. They might not know that fear exists. They might not like fully express that fear, and they might not even express it to their own psyche.
Yeah.
But deep down in that sort of 200,000 year ago sort of brain that we still have. Just because we've got houses and lights and cameras and iPads,
we have got a lot of lights.
Mean we have got a lot of lights. Doesn't mean that. It looks like Thomas Edison's workshop in here.
It does.
It doesn't mean that stuff's not ingrained, which it is, and that's why men are often seen as these people who are just about sex and everything like that. So there's been times in my life when I was younger, and it's still not a problem for me. What's the word? Like it's still obviously a temptation to just to do that, but I'm sort of older. Wiser.
See, that's the way we're different.
Any
really.
lovely ladies out there?
Well, when I was younger, I was always in relationships, and then I kind of hit an age. I was broke up with my girlfriend of like 3 years, and then was all of a sudden like, holy crap! I'm 22. I'm single. I can go out there and do that. You know, I can have that lifestyle. I had one. It was a disaster, and I thought, I'd rather just find.
Why was it a disaster?
Oh, it was bad.
Have you told me about this story before?
I've not told you this specific bit. I've not told you about the bit where I farted. Because basically, so I was kind of, was talking to this girl for a while, kind of on and off, and then I was like, right, I don't really want anything with this girl. I'm just going to try sleeping with her. Pretty much.
Oh, okay. So
then that happened. She went back to her place, watched Some Like It Hot. Okay. Which was something that we discussed in the subscriber podcast.
NintendoSushi.com/Cooper.
Yeah. Watched that film, and then we started banging out. But when she took my shirt off...
You fired?
Because I was trying to tense my abs so that my abs looked good in the light.
God.
And I tensed so hard that I fired.
Did she know?
Oh, yeah.
Was it a loud one?
Yeah. And nothing was said. It was just like a...
So when something like that happens, it's different when you're in a relationship to when you're in...
Oh yeah, I'd just laugh in a relationship.
I'd probably laugh at that in a one night stand actually, but there's this sort of like unspoken rule to not speak about anything that's sort of going on because it's like it's still a little bit awkward.
Which is again why this is the thing is that it's kind of we had sex. I went the next morning and I was like, you know what? That was not good. Like, there was nothing wrong with it. But in terms of, like, that connect... I don't know. Like, I've been used to...
Your abs look
my abs did look good. Yeah, my abs look good. It fucking stank, but my abs look good.
Was it a bad one?
No, it wasn't, to be fair. Mine are loud, but they don't smell. Generally. If they're not loud, they fucking stink. Like earlier. But yeah, so we were... so that happened. The next morning I left and I was like, you know what? I just didn't feel... I was used to kind of sleeping with girls that I'd had a massive connection with. And then all of a sudden when I didn't have a connection with someone, I tried sleeping with them. I was like, it isn't fun. Like, I'm going through the motions of, like, I know this is what I should do, and this should
do this, should break wind.
Yeah. Should tense my abs. So I knew to do all these things.
Did you pull that sort of, like,
I think I did pull like a
Oh, once you'd done it.
Yeah. But yeah, so like it just didn't feel right. I went through the motions of sex and left, and I was like,
I went through the motions of sex and left.
yeah.
That sounds quite poetic.
And I was like,
in a disgusting way.
but then I never want that experience ever again with anyone. Like I don't even care, because it wasn't even the girl. The girl was a really nice girl, but I never want that experience again, because it was like, you know what? It didn't have that feeling, that connection, which is so weird, because it's probably, and like I said, anthropologically speaking, that's probably more of a female perspective on sex. In that I feel that now, whenever I sleep with someone, like there is that gamble of like, do I feel connected enough to this person to sleep with them? And that's like a real thing for me that I didn't know I had, because I was just used to being in relationships. So I thought, well, when I'm single, I'll go crazy, and I didn't. So that was kind of my opinion of it. But I was wondering if you had any good one night stand stories.
Oh, I thought you meant like tips on.
No, good tips on how to become a chauvinistic pig. No, I'm alright.
No, that stuff's obviously behind me now. Like I'm older.
Yeah.
A lot older. I'm old. Wiser and more like in tune to a lot of people's feelings and stuff like that.
That's
like,
the thing as well.
I think I've changed a lot and grown a lot as a person over the past even 2 years, even 6 months.
Yeah.
And where was we going?
When you was younger, yeah.
Yeah, I got a few.
Well, go on.
What was a one night stand at the time? But then, does it count if it was a one night stand? But then there was a couple after that, but it was not. I didn't know the person before.
Yeah,
that
that's fine. Yeah,
because at the time it wasn't.
Well, basically saying sex stories.
Okay.
So
here we go.
all right.
So, should we go for the easiest one I ever had? Okay. Right. So I was at a club.
The easiest one you ever had. Okay, you was at a club.
No, one not being a woman, one being
one night
stand.
Okay, right.
Yeah. You know this person.
Ah, good.
Now because of what happened afterwards.
Okay.
So I was at a club, and I'd seen my friend that I'd not seen for a while. I went to music college with him, and I was just chatting to him for a while. I was like, "Fucking hell, it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you like forever."
Yeah.
How's it going? Everything. We was chatting back and forth, and then his sister came up, and I was like, "Holy shit, your sister got hot," and he was like, "I knew you'd like her," and I was like, "All right then." So she came up to me and she was like, "Oh, Dad, how's it going?" And I know that look. Okay. So so she being like 18, 19 I think. So she comes up to me and said, "Oh, Dad, how's it going?" And I was like, Dad. Oh yeah, and I remembered because a few years earlier when I went to go see my friend at a gig, and his mum was there, and I'd never met his family before or anything like that, and I was like really flirty with his mum.
Yeah,
she was really attractive, and we was dancing together and everything like that. And
he just banged you hair on that family.
No, I've not slept with anyone in that family.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay, that's good.
So and his sister was there,
right, and
she was making jokes that I was her dad because I was sort of being flirty with him, which is fair enough. So so she came up and I was chatting to her for a bit and I was just like, "Fucking hell, you've grown up. You've grown up good."
You grow up good.
And I was in my early 20s at the time. I sound creepy now, but I won't. And so we was all talking in this sort of circle. In the smoking section outside, as you do.
It's the best place, isn't it?
It is the best place. It's the best place. Tip: if you want to meet women, do it in the smoking area.
Yeah. It's not
that
music.
dance floor shit.
Yeah.
Dance floor shit. Yeah, you can dance sexily for a woman for a minute, then you're gone. It's the outside. You make connections.
Well, that's really where you make them connections, is through talking. Really, I mean, you can dance and like flirt around, but it's the kind and the smoking section is perfect where everyone's kind of in that area. It's quieter than the rest of the place. You're all kind of forced to be in a reasonably close proximity. So you're kind of like at a point where you might as well start conversation. And also, people are smoking, like I don't smoke, but in terms of like, you know, when people have got like lighters or whatever, and everyone's kind of quite conversational in the smoking area because you all kind of just get to know each other.
So we was talking for a bit, and then this girl comes who was drunk. She wasn't like absolutely wasted, but she was drunk, and I wasn't drinking at the time because why wasn't I drinking at the time? Oh yeah, it's because I was sort of like training and stuff.
Yeah,
doing my bodybuilding and everything, and yeah, so I just wasn't drinking. I was just in the club. So this girl comes up to me and she put her arms around me and she was like, "Oh God," she was like, "I just want to go home." She was like a little bit sort of like thing, and I was like, to be honest, I've got my car. So where do you live?
Yeah.
So she was like, "Oh, I live here," which was very close to my flat at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I'll take you home. That's cool. I'll take you home." Thinking not literally at this point, I'd not thought anything. I'd never met this girl before. She was friends with everyone in that friendship circle that I'd been away from all this time. So so she comes and I was just like, yeah, I'll give you a lift home because I wanted to go home anyway. To be honest, I think I was working then. I was definitely working the next day. I was teaching guitar the next day.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, cool. So it was just chatting in the car, like just normal, nothing, anything. I wasn't even trying to impress this girl. I mean, she was a great looking girl, everything. But I wasn't trying to impress her. I was just.
I know it is. I know it is.
Yeah.
I don't think she's that pretty, but it's different tastes.
All right. Yeah. But whatever.
Well, I don't think she is. But you don't think girls I find attractive are attractive?
No, I'm very funny with my girls, aren't I?
Yeah. You like them like Michael Jackson.
So so we drove back to our house, and I pulled up, and I said, right, I'll see you later then. So she goes, do you want to come in? And until this point, I'd like not even thought anything, and I was like, and I don't even think I had at this point, like, you know, when I was just sort of, I wasn't really like, I was just whatever, you know what I mean? And so I was like, yeah, sure, we'll go inside, that's fine. So I shut the car door, went in. She just held my hand and just took me straight upstairs, straight into a bedroom, and she just took her clothes off. And I was like, I feel bad. This is too easy.
Yeah, and that's a similar thing there. So I think what I felt with that thing of the chase, like, I knew I was going to sleep with that girl, and she knew it. I knew it. There was no thrill. There was no like, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? I think that's part of it as well. So
we went upstairs and.
Yeah.
Things happen.
And
whilst in the motion.
Whoopee.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's weird because I've never said that before, I don't think, in my life.
Sims pun.
No, that's woohoo.
Oh, woohoo, isn't it? Yeah. Go on.
So,
he was in the motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
And a door opens.
Okay.
With about 8 to 10 people there. Boys, girls.
Okay.
Everything. Not little boys.
Come in.
A choir of small children were just there. So yeah, they sort of just opened the door, and I was like, all right, completely naked. And so she jumped. This bit's a bit like thingy for me. I know she got out of bed and went to she had like an ensuite, and she went in there for a little bit, and then I was just sort of like naked, and I was like, said to this dude, I was like, just chuck us a t-shirt or something, like, so he chucked me up around, put the covers around me, and he was, and then there was just people there, and they were coming for one of them big decorating tables, you know what you do the wallpaper on, because they were playing beer pong. That was in her room. So so they came, they got that, they left, and then she left with him, and I was like,
okay, that's weird.
This is strange. I'm just
that's really
sat
weird
by myself.
Yeah.
Naked with like a half-on t-shirt.
Yeah.
Just in a bed.
I've been in similar scenarios. It's really, really awkward.
But the time got really awkward. It got quite long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do I do? So I put my pants and everything on.
Yeah.
And then the door opened again.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell, it's like, what saloon door is this?
Who's going to come in next?
Yeah, it was like Noel's house party. So, ding dong.
Behind door number 1.
Exactly. So they come in, and no, a girl comes in.
Okay.
Really attractive girl. She You don't even know who I'm talking
No,
about. now.
I'm laughing at. I've had my starter. Right, where's the main course?
It would look
Next
quite
course,
like that.
please.
It would look quite like that.
Who's coming through the sex door next?
Yeah. So I've had the men, I've had the
Yeah.
children's choir. So so this I don't know, like stunning girl comes in. I was like, hello, and she was like, hey, yeah, I've got something to tell you. So I was like, all right, can you stop talking like a duck?
Got something to.
Something to tell you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like,
What?
what's up? What up?
Mhm.
So she said, oh, what should we call this girl? The original girl.
The original girl.
Lemony Snicket.
Okay.
So this Lemony Snicket.
Was it a series of unfortunate events that happened that night?
It was.
Okay. So why did Lemony Snicket have gone?
So
So Snicket.
yeah, I've got something to tell you.
Yeah.
Lemony Snicket is a lesbian and has been with her Lemony Snicket's girlfriend
Oh.
for about, I think it was 4 years.
Okay.
She's not slept with a man in six years or something like that. So I was like, it's a new one to me.
Yeah.
Kind of quite like it, but I don't know what to do with that information quite yet.
Mhm.
So so I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll
go.
get going. And she was like, oh no, just come down and party. I thought, a bit awkward, but
Yeah.
anyway. So then Lemony Snicket comes in.
Oh god.
Who's the second girl called?
I don't know. Some other children's author, J.K. Rowling, maybe.
No.
I don't know. Who do you want? Darren Shan.
Who did
Jacqueline Wilson.
Who did the green eggs?
Dr.
Zeus
Dr.
comes
Zeus.
Dr. Zeus comes in, and no, Dr. Zeus has left.
Yeah, Lemony Snicket's come back.
Yeah, Dr. Zeus was there left. And I was
Yeah.
like, right, cool. I don't think I'm
Lemony
gonna come
Snicket's back.
back. So Lemony Snicket's back. I'm fully dressed or whatever. And I went and gave her a hug, and I was like, that's cool.
You're
You know what I
lesbian.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. So she was like, oh, I feel real bad. And I was like, you've got nothing to feel bad about. You know what I mean? Like,
Don't feel bad to me. Feel bad to your girlfriend.
yeah. There's another story in there.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff that happened with that later on, but yeah. So I was just like, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
fine. And then
You left.
no, I actually went downstairs for a bit to the party.
Okay.
Sat awkwardly on a seat, and I was like, I'm leaving.
Oh, there's not worse.
Yeah,
There's
because
nothing
normally
worse.
I'm fine in like a
Yeah.
social environment. Of course I am. Like that's what I am.
Yeah.
You know.
But
what I
they'd
mean?
all just seen you
But
naked.
They had all just seen me naked, which I don't think had passed
Yeah.
my like brain at that moment. But I was just kind of like, I don't know, like this is a bit strange.
It is
I'm
an odd-
processing
yeah.
this information. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that story. That's a good story.
That's good. So I've got tons of stories like that.
Well, I'm just so like, I don't know.
Unfortunately,
Save
I'm
for
not
another time.
necessarily proud of them.
No.
But they all form who we are today. All
They
of
do.
these experiences,
They do.
mistakes, transgressions, sexual peccadillos.
Well, it's like you said about the lesbian thing. Like you said, you was like, all right, I'm alright with that.
Mm.
See,
I've had a lot of experiences in life, sexually and otherwise.
It's
great.
lesbians don't really do it for me. Do for a lot of guys.
No,
But it's another thing
it
that never
wasn't
done it
like
for me.
they were lapping
Oh, no.
each other out
Yeah.
in front of me.
Oh, yeah,
And I didn't know at the time.
yeah.
I didn't know
I'm
anything
not saying
at
that,
the
but,
time.
but it's kind of like that's another thing. A lot of guys seem to like that. I do. It's really weird. I'm a really strange person with stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't like one night stands. I don't think I'd ever want a threesome. No, I would never want a threesome. I'd never want like any kind of lesbian action going on with me. And it's just really odd. It's just really strange.
I won't confirm or deny whether that's happened with me.
I know. Alright, no, it has.
No.
So, next topic. Do we go for the Twitter topic, or do we go for your topic? Let's go for yours.
Okay.
Right, what's your topic?
I've forgotten. I've remembered.
Okay.
Right, so my topic...
We didn't cut the camera there, by the way.
What?
The way you went, I've forgotten, I've remembered. It looked like we kind of cut, like you'd taken 5 minutes to finish and we'd edit it together. Right, go on.
Right, so my topic this week is selfies.
This is an interesting one.
Mm.
Okay.
Do you know what made this idea come to fruition?
Go on. Our camera.
No. It is quite selfie.
It's a bit
selfie,
selfie,
sort of
yeah.
like ooh.
It is a bit like.
Right. Firstly, I've never ever taken a selfie.
Okay.
Ever.
I have.
I may have done
Yeah,
for
mate.
like a MySpace thing when I was 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Did you put your hair like that? Did you go like that? And, like look down.
No.
I never did that, but that was something that people used to do.
No, I never did that. But it's just that's not like a thing that would ever enter my brain, a selfie to do.
Okay.
The reason why is a couple of weeks ago there was you and I were hanging around with a couple of girls. Okay, one of them
Yeah.
is renowned for taking lots of selfies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
Right, and then you know when you did your play.
Yeah.
We didn't do your play. You directed.
Yeah.
You wrote a play
And directed it.
and directed it.
And you can't see it.
When that came on, I went, and I was in the second row back.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the row in front of me was like a group of. How old? I find it difficult within that between 5 and 11 range,
Okay,
you know, to sort
alright.
of pick an age.
I'll
But
say 9. 9-10-year-olds then.
8 or 9.
Okay.
So they were in the front in front.
Okay.
The row in front. And there was maybe, how many was there? 5, I think. There was
Okay.
1 boy, 4 girls. Seems about right. Okay.
Player.
Auto player.
Yep.
And what happened was, this was before the curtains were drawn.
Yeah.
And the vaudevillian
The
show.
vaudevillian show began. Gotta stop writing that vaudeville.
Yeah, and then like one of them, well, they all had their phones out because
Yeah.
it's 2012,
It's not.
2015.
Yeah.
And one of the girls sort of took a
Took a
selfie. I don't know what she was doing. It didn't look like she was on Snapchat. I wasn't like
Yeah.
really looking over the shoulder, but I just noticed that
Mhm.
she was taking a selfie. No, actually, it was on the normal camera app for iPhone.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
what an 8-year-old's doing on iPhone, I have no idea. But
They all have them.
maybe they were 9 or 10.
Okay.
I don't know. So they were all. This girl did a selfie,
Yeah.
and I thought that's strange, like that. Yeah, I thought that's strange. I'm sort of over her shoulder in a selfie.
Yeah,
I thought that's a bit
true.
strange. But and then she and the girl next to her did
Mhm.
one, and then she moved along, and the next girl with her
Oh, okay,
did one
so they
together,
had one
moved
with
along,
everyone. Yeah.
her and the guy did one. Then every one of them proceeded to do exactly the same thing with,
With
their
every one of
phones.
them. Okay. That's
It's
weird.
that thing of like 5 times 5 times 5, whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is.
A-
and
8-year-old
then-
squared.
Yeah.
8-year-old cubed.
And then one of the girls stood up and shouted right to the back of the theatre, you know, where the
Yeah.
seats go up, and was like, "Oh, Ellie," I made that name up.
Alright.
"Ellie, come and do some selfies." And then another girl came, and then they all proceeded to do more selfies.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's been at least 50 photos taken in front of me of just that.
Yeah.
All from that top angle. All that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And I just thought, then, what's the world come to?
See,
Because even these were at some sort of like art form, public art
Yeah.
form of thinking, and it was still like withered down to these sort of like.
they weren't taking pictures of like what was going on. I know
I
there's
don't
no
even
flash
think.
photography
I don't even
allowed,
think they
but
even took pictures of the set. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because the
stage was open. Yeah, we
the
don't have
curtains
curtains.
were open.
We don't have curtains.
Oh, but the lights were dim.
The lights were down.
No, because it was on at first.
The lights are on. You
could
get
see-
the
no,
general
you could
house
see-
lights.
You can see the house lights. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see.
So it's like bluish.
And I just thought, not in a weird way in the slightest,
Yeah.
I would love to go through one of those girls' phone book, not phone book. Just call all the friends.
Like scream.
Photo album.
Yeah.
And I bet if you just swipe through, it's just going
picture
to
of
be.
itself. But like slightly different backgrounds. Yeah, true. Turning around on the music as a chichi moment. See, this is where like I think it's one of those things that are
A generational thing.
it's a generational thing. That's okay in moderation. Now because like
You're a Snapchatter.
I go on Snapchat and to be honest, I do it but like with a facial expression. And like a comedy expression. So I never actually do like a Snapchat like, oh yeah, I look good there. It's always like someone will send me something and I'll pull a face like, you know what I mean? So I think that's a thing to like. Snapchat's a way of conversation that kind of includes your face.
Personal emoticon.
A more personal, yeah, exactly, a more personal emoticon. And also like my like if I'm taking a profile picture of some kind of
yeah, see, I've not got. Like...
I'll have one of me taking a photo of myself, but that's it. I don't go to different places. I find it really odd. People who go to different places and take pictures of themselves really close up. Like I'd have a picture with my friend with something interesting in the background because that's normal. That's not
something I do. But
yeah, you can see yeah. But I don't understand close-up pictures of your face. Loads of them, like with your friends and all that. Like I've never really understood that. But at the same time, like I don't know. Like it is a generation thing, but at the same time, it's not something that I'm against in any way. Like that's just one of the things that if that's what you want to do, you want to do it, and it'll probably fade out. To be fair, like I know it's quite a big thing, but I think it's one of the things that won't happen anymore.
Yeah, because I can't see what longevity.
Exactly.
What kind of angle?
It's
is
almost
45-degree angle image is gonna.
It's like a fashion thing, and it's something that will go.
It was just weird that there was these like very small children.
Yeah.
But they were still sort of like pulling quite sexual faces.
That's
and
it, and that's where the issue comes in because
that's the problem to me.
When these photos are a little bit sexualized in some way,
they were just sort of posing in a certain way, and they all had like makeup and stuff. And I just thought, this is like it's strange to me.
It is really odd, and as someone who works with that kind of age group a lot, I've seen it over many years. Kind of the younger groups very slowly have creeped up to being very similar to the older groups in that you get the girls that are 8, 9 years old. I haven't noticed it as much with boys, to be honest. I think that young boys have always been, in my classes anyway, young boys. But I think girls seem to be trying to be older a lot earlier now.
This little kid, he was dressed fashionably, and he was doing the posing and the pouting and everything like that.
I mean, and there is a little bit, obviously there's a little bit of that, but I think it's generally been a very female-led thing. The idea of selfie, which is something
I think everyone's doing them.
But with the younger age groups is what I'm talking about. Because just from what I've seen from teaching that age group, and girls do get more mature earlier, but it's getting more and more so that they're kind of striving for that maturity at younger ages. And I suppose boys are, but in different ways. And it is scary. It's a really worrying thing. Because, like you say, the poses that they pull, are not something that you would expect a small child to do.
But it's what they
and
see
also it's vanity
now. Because, like, vanity is like a huge issue.
When I was that age, I could not care less what I looked like.
It was evident, but it was there's the whole like emotional trauma and issues that the whole vanity thing.
Exactly, it stems.
Yeah, exactly, and I think as well that's all they're seeing. All they see is their favorite celebrities.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing these on Flickr, Instagram, all this stuff, and Twitter, Facebook, everything. That's all they're seeing.
True.
And they're looking up to that and doing that. Like when we was a kid, like I mean, we needed magazines. The internet wasn't a thing when I was a child, and it was like the only thing you got was professional photo shoots, tastefully done. Yeah. Like there was a lot more. What was allowed and not allowed.
And I always had a feel
in
of
case
like
of nudity and
that's something
sexual
where you go,
nudity was different.
That's just something adults do. Like I don't think it was something that you ever thought of doing. Even when you saw stuff like that, you didn't think of doing it yourself.
No, but it's everywhere now.
But it's everywhere.
It's penetrating from every angle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? So it's coming from all these different places and
adverts. You know what I mean? Like billboards.
And when we're kind of, and the reason why obviously people take a lot of selfies is because they want themselves to look as good as possible in the photo. And like I was saying, that's not something I worried about at that age. If an awful picture was taken of me, I'd laugh. You know what I mean? Like that was funny. But now it's kind of vanity.
You did look like a blonde tweedled up.
I looked horrible. If I'd been worried about the way I looked at a young age, I'd be very emotionally scarred right now. So yeah, like it was just something I didn't worry about. And I don't think you do have to worry about it. Like
no, to be a child is a beautiful, magnificent.
It's something
thing.
that you never will ever get back.
It's something that all as adults should strive to be more childlike.
Yeah.
If children ruled the world, it'd be just love and fun and entertainment, and everything would just be, you know what I mean?
And poo jokes.
and poo jokes. It'd
best
just
thing.
be love. That's
Yeah.
all the child understands. Is born to understand is love. That's the only emotion they understand.
Well, it's like with that young kids that I teach with the play that I did. Now I'm doing Romeo and Juliet and a few older productions with some older like adults, and I taught that taught that show with the young kids, and the kind of affection and gratefulness that I got back was so much different from the children than it was from the adults.
Yeah.
The adults, it's very like, well done, thanks, I appreciate it. With the kids, it was like, this has been one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah.
And you kind of think like, I'd love to be more like that. I'm not like that, but I'd love to be more like that. Just more kind of open about stuff like that and honest. And like, if you kind of like someone, like telling them that you like them on a regular basis. You know, like that's something that kids seem to do that kind of goes in adulthood. You tell someone. When someone's your best friend, you tell them all the time when you're a kid. You know, like, or when you like something about someone, you just tell them. But then can you grow up? Like, I don't think I've ever said to someone in the last, like, 5 years, you're my best friend.
No.
So, you know what I mean? Like, that's something that, you're right, that I see a lot of. I have fun in my job. With especially with the younger ones, because it is just about like this is funny, let's do it, or this will be enjoyable.
Kids live in the moment. They don't worry about what's happening tomorrow. They don't worry about what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
All that matters is they're there and then. And if everyone lived like that, we'd be in a much nicer world.
Well, to an extent.
No.
They live like that to an extent.
No.
Like, in terms of danger.
No. If everyone treated each other with love and we're worrying about bills and things in the future, and they were just living for there in the moment. That's the only thing that really exists. The future doesn't exist because it's not happened yet. The past doesn't exist. It's just something that has happened. But what I'm saying is that the only thing that exists is right here and right now.
But recklessness is a different thing, and that can be done through that.
Well, yeah, but you're sort of, I think you're changing what I mean, like the essence of what a child believes in and everything like that. Yeah. If we all like a child, if someone falls over, a child goes and helps them up.
Yeah.
Like we all sort of like
look a bit awkward.
Like, who's gonna do it? You know what I mean? Like, and everything like that. And if something's
it's this weird social like laws that are unwritten or unspoken, but they get kind of stamped in on.
It's scientifically proven, this whole social sort of.
Yeah.
You freeze in it like. There's a very small percentage of people who are in an actual, like when the 9/11.
We discussed this.
Yeah, we've discussed that before, but yeah. Anyway, is that topic?
That's that topic done. Yeah.
Selfies.
Do
you do them?
If you do, why do we should get? No, I think you should tweet us selfies.
Tweet selfies.
Tweet selfies
at Nintendo Sushi.
And we'll pick the best.
Yeah, and while you're at it, you might as well go on nintendosushi.com/Cooper Club and join up there.
Yeah, join the Cooper Club. Buy the merch.
Yeah,
on it. So the last one.
How's that for a topic?
That was a good one. I like that. Sex and selfies. Good.
Sex selfies. Make it a thing.
Sexes. So the last topic came from Pete Wabis.
Yeah. Yeah. Good friend of the show, Pete Wabis.
I need my phone for this one, and I'm sorry I'm going on my phone, but there is a reason.
Okay. He's going to do a selfie. That's the reason.
I'm going to do one on this podcast and upload it.
So so our good friend of the show, Pete Wabis, is such. Are you doing
Come here.
No, I don't want to be in a selfie.
No, yeah, you do. Good, better look at that picture. This is why it's all. See, you want to look. You're interested.
I look like some sort of pauper, like clamouring for some sort of.
We're putting that on Twitter.
I mean,
that's awful.
If you want,
my teeth look yellow. Oh, my phone just died. Oh no, it didn't.
It saved it. Anyway, so what was we talking about? Pete Wabis, beautiful man.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man.
He is a good looking.
He's got a beautiful voice.
Oh, he has such a
delicate
You can hear him on podcast episode 100.
Alongside all our other listeners and Colin Moriarty.
Yeah, so just go
on
iTunes. Everyone. Just a big lie.
It's a 12-year podcast.
So get on there and let us know. That's going to play loud. I'm not sure what you're doing there.
No, it's not. No.
Okay. All right. That's just strange.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I'm doing this. You just explain this.
Right, okay. So Pete Wabis, we asked him for something for a Gabe Abel Happy Hour topic.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted us to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Which we're not in any way.
Oh no.
educated in
No.
that topic, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. And when asked for something more specific, he said the 2015 general election.
Elections, yeah.
Okay, so basically, if you're abroad in the beautiful world, then everyone's got a government seat, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's the election this year to say who's going to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
And his team.
The United States of England.
Yeah. And his kind of group, his team, and also
His team.
the different people that control.
His friends. We're going to vote who's going to have a little picnic with.
You have the local election as well, don't you? As well, which is kind of like where
Is that the same time? I thought that was...
No, it's...
That had happened last year, 2014.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
So, again, I'm not hugely educated on politics.
Neither am I. I'm not at all. I would like to be.
So any negative comments...
Okay.
Well, you can post them if you want.
You can put... I ain't bothered, yeah. Right, the thing what...
It was just a disclaimer. This was our little star...
Yeah.
And then at the bottom it says, do not listen to us.
Yeah. So the political word of this and Gabe do not mirror the political words of
Any
Nintendo
other human
Sushi.
being.
Yeah. So what I did was I normally vote Labour in elections. Okay. I've always
the babies.
Yeah. No. Because generally
like birth canals.
Because generally, traditionally speaking, now this is where it's changed, but traditionally speaking, it's very much about the working man as much as possible. I think with elections, you're always voting for the lesser evil. I'm not a great fan of how governments are actually run, but I always think that you should vote because you can at least pick the lesser of all the evils. And so I normally vote Labour, but I don't usually look too much into their policies because I always think that's just what I've always done. And I think a lot of people will admit that that's what they do. They get used to this party and they look through it. But so I
think most people, how true this is or not, each party has some sort of stereotypical thought
stigma surrounding them. Yeah.
And the rich vote for the Conservatives,
yeah.
the poor people vote for
Labour,
and I don't know if you can't
and you got
make your mind up,
Lib
you go
Dems
for
are
Lib
sort of
Dems.
in the middle, yeah. So I went on the Labour website just to have a look, kind of at their policies and stuff, because I thought I'll have a look.
I saw you logging in. Did you just start an account?
Yeah, no, it just asks you stuff, and it really annoyed me because it did this questionnaire, and a lot of the questions I was like, it was very set questions. So I'll go through like the first one for you. So it says, "What issue do you think is the most?"
Can we do this now?
Yeah,
Can we do a
we'll do it
Nintendo
now. Yeah,
Sushi
let's
one?
do it. Labour questionnaire.
Live question.
So, what issue do you think is the most important facing Britain? The cost of living, crime, education, the
protein that you derive from milk,
housing, immigration, jobs, NHS, social security. Now, how can you say, in my opinion, how can you say that one of them is more important than anything else?
Yeah, well, it's like, what do you think's the most? Okay.
But I think what? So cost.
If there has to be a list, then which one?
Why are we? It just annoys me that it's forcing me to pick something over something else because to me that's all of equal importance. I know it stresses me out. You'll see later on. It stressed me out as well. But to me, all them things are of equal importance, and whichever one I'd choose then would be arbitrary, because it's just like, well, that one then. But they're all very important. I'd not say that any of them are less important than any of the others. Right.
So let's go. Right, so cost of living. Of course, it's important.
We pay a lot in England, especially.
Crime that's perpetually a problem. I don't think it's as bad as it has been. So we'll not let that.
Well, crime's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think
it's all in the cloud now.
Yeah, it's true.
It's with them selfie tits
taking down the PlayStation Network. And
education.
Education is extremely
housing.
important. We both have worked in education.
Very, very important. Immigration, which I feel like most people are going to be ticking that list wrongly, and I'll tell you why.
I think immigration is an issue in terms of how people view immigration, but that's not what they're asking us.
Yeah, I agree.
Jobs. Well, we all need jobs.
NHS. I'd go for NHS just because of what's happening at the moment is all of the different policies. I think there is only
Yeah, of course,
maybe
you're right.
Labour. Again, I'm not very educated on this, but there's only maybe Labour who've guaranteed to not sell off the NHS to different private companies.
Split it up.
They're trying to privatise the NHS.
Yeah.
A lot of the other ones, and basically that means selling off different things, like maybe lung operations to Johnny Lung and the Lung,
I like the
lung
way,
Parade.
but the way you're saying it is kind of like it's a an auction. It's like,
It is.
yeah.
No, that's exactly how it is.
And we've got lungs going, once going, twice going, that's sold.
That's exactly how it is, and that's
Which
what's
is
scary
crazy.
about it, because the government are just going to sell this off to the lesser bidders, which a lot of that time, because there was some sort of like third party element to it, and they wouldn't have to be as qualified as what NHS doctors and things are, and that's very scary.
Sure, the
Plus,
NHS
the fact of privatising it all,
Yeah.
there's potential with a couple of the parties now that we're going to have to pay for health.
And that's surely one of the things that we're very, very privileged to have in our country, is that even though it's through the tax system, I do think we get a pretty good deal when it comes to NHS.
It's good. At the end, we should do everything within our power to save the NHS.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
So that we'll go for NHS then. The other one's Social Security. Now that's something that is important, but it's not something that I consider something.
What is Social Security? Is that like terrorism?
I suppose, but then are we then funding wars that we don't want to happen? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it Social Security, or is it also abroad? Is it also like, sending troops abroad for whatever? What is security and what is what's defense and what's offense?
I don't know. Pick NHS.
NHS. But what annoys me is that you have to pick one.
And I did.
Please, before continuing. Okay, what's the next one?
The biggest problem with this year's election is the what they're called, not BNP. What they're called, but basically that. Nigel Farage is UKIP.
UKIP, yeah. UKIP.
That's the main issue. I mean, he's a scary man, and he's basically just going on the whole notion of immigrants are the things causing it, because that's what the newspapers have been telling everybody.
Well,
people only know what they're told.
It's a scapegoat
thing. It's not fair. It's not fair to call people stupid because they're uneducated.
No.
Anything. You know what you're told. Like, we could eventually be told, hey, the whole space don't exist. We go live on this magical little dust, and if that's the real truth, that's the real truth.
So
as much as it
we're
makes sense to us now.
Bring it back to
hot and
Dr.
here's a
Zeus.
who.
Yeah.
There we go. So that whole thing could be possible.
Yeah.
We only know what we're told. But anyway, it's probably not. So the whole immigration being an issue. I think in the top 10 earners of it was something like 7 or something were immigrants, because people say they're not bringing any money into our country, they're just sapping our resources and everything there. And that's not the case at all.
No.
If you look at the actual statistics, not the bullshit stuff that they put in the paper, then with people who are obviously financially beneficial, going back to the NHS problem as well, I think it's something like 80% of people who are in that top tier of governmency benefit significantly financially from the privatisation of the NHS.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Next one.
So what was I talking about? The whole immigration thing.
The whole immigration thing, sorry, yeah.
If you look at it on paper, they're actually helping our economy. Really fucking helping our economy. And yeah, a few give a bad name, but there's how many like just British born people are just sort of wanting everything.
And what the fuck is Britain? We're all immigrants. I'm sorry, but
what's anything?
There's a very, very small. That's true, but a very,
not
very small
that one
percentage.
means I was like, what's any country?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, what's any?
It's
we're all a melting pot. Like
it's a piece of debt.
Yeah.
Like and I feel like immigration's like it's not the issue but because everyone's fear because they're stealing our jobs, they're doing this, they're doing that. They're not. All right, this is just bullshit. But the fact everyone's scared about that because that's what they're being fed on the news and in the newspapers. Then Nigel Farage has come and he's been like, look, we're gonna get rid of all the immigrants, get rid of them, and they've got ridiculous immigration policies. But that's not the issue. The issue is like, look at every other policy he's got, and he's a terrifying, terrifying man. Do not let him gain power.
Yeah, it's true. Well, one thing that really annoyed me that I saw on Facebook yesterday was this joke that was sent on Facebook, and it said bungee jumps £35 each, Muslims go free, no strings attached. That really annoyed me.
I didn't get that.
As in no strings attached, as in...
I understand that, but what do they mean?
As in they want Muslim people to die, essentially. That was supposed to be the
like
joke.
an advert at a bungee jump.
Yeah, like an advert.
I was thinking more like the whole
no,
Barclaycard
yeah. Sorry,
thing or whatever.
yeah.
It was like...
Yeah, so sorry, like an advertisement.
Something
like
else
a bungee
priceless.
jumping. Yeah. And it really annoyed me. Because in terms of that, I can't remember the guy who I watched an interview with, but he was saying like
me. It was on this
because
channel.
there's
it was opening a 3DS.
Just because there are Muslim terrorists, it doesn't mean that Muslims are terrorists.
Islam's a very peaceful.
It's
faith.
very peaceful faith. Yeah, and it's the same as like what? So because the Ku Klux Klan are Christian, does that mean all Christians are Ku Klux Klan?
There's that other thing that the good people are putting out there on the internet, which it's like, a Muslim kills someone, a terrorist. A black person kills someone, someone else, like terrorist or something like that. White person kills someone. No. The Muslim kills someone, the full race are terrorists. Black person kills someone, the full race are like murderers and gangsters. White person kills someone, he's an intact individual.
Exactly, and that's a very true thing. And a lot of the Muslim countries are very peaceful countries. Places like Turkey and places like that kind of, and they've got very good, like people say about their views on women. Turkey's got a lot of women in government. Turkey's very pro women. So I think it's not the religion that's the issue. It's certain people within that religion, the same as within Christianity. These nutters in all religions. You know what I mean? Like
if you take the pure scripture, the Bible is a lot more brutal and wrong compared to the Quran and the teachings of Islam.
So anyway, the next one. We're keen to hear how this government has impacted your community. Now, this is one that made me laugh. Thinking back over the last year or so, have you noticed any of the following in your local area?
Owls.
Citizens Advice Centres closing. Answer these, by the way. Have you noticed any of this?
No.
Empty high street shops.
In what?
In your local area. So in Hull, let's say.
Oh, yeah, significantly.
Empty high street shops.
Yeah.
How did you see your GP?
I agree, yeah.
New betting or pawn shops. I don't think
pawn being that being like charity shops and everything, yeah.
Pubs closing down.
Yeah.
Reduction in local council services.
Yeah.
Show Start Centre closing.
Show Start, that's the whole when you've just had a child and
I don't think there has been. It's not been something that I've heard of.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't comment on that.
Threats to NHS.
Yeah, definitely within the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Now, what makes me laugh is that again, that's the problem with the questionnaire. Is to me, it's very restrictive as to what it's channeling you down certain routes. What about this other thing that I've noticed that you're not going to let me...
The whole news, the whole everything, that's what they do.
That's what stresses me out.
People like a certain story, to tell people a certain storyline because they benefit financially from it.
I like this one. Please complete this sentence. Labour would definitely have my vote if... Can we put something funny?
If they all wore Nintendo Sushi t-shirts.
Oh, if they put Nintendo Sushi in government. I'm putting that.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll be there next.
If enough people do it.
Not because I, one, don't want to be in government, two, don't want to vote for Labour.
Why do you vote for?
I don't vote for anyone.
For what reason?
Because there is no change.
Yeah, but to me you've got to pick the lesser of all the evils.
No, because there is no lesser of all the evils, I don't think. What?
Yeah, put that. Okay. If you put Nintendo Sushi in government.
Every government the United States government, our government, every big government is just run by international companies.
Yeah.
The people who are lobbying, the lobbyists, and that are piling these monies into these governments because they benefit financially. They're killing the planet. They're killing everything. They're destroying us. There's plenty of money out there. We're told there's no money. There's plenty. There's money. There is money.
Yeah, but it's in the top 1%
And
of the population.
It's something like the top 3% of people in Britain earn more money than the 97% all added together.
Yeah.
Scary thought. And there's all these kind of like things where it's these big companies that earn it. They're the ones putting money in, and there keeps being new laws, and that TTIP thing is another one of these where they're trying to get like anonymous donors, big humongous ones. I think there's a fact which I may be wrong on because I'm not very big on American politics, but I think I've read somewhere that there hasn't been a single time in history that the party that won became a president and not put the most amount of cash into their campaign.
I've heard a similar thing. Yeah,
into their campaign.
It's
never happened.
And the amount of money that goes into that campaign could solve some
like
poverty.
And recently they've been finding ways around disguising who's putting money into those things. And the people who are putting money into those things, the businesses who want, it's all these things like happening. If you read a great book by Russell Brand called Revolution, I recommend you read it too. I know you've not read it.
Yeah.
Read Revolution by Russell Brand. Great book. I know he's a comedian, but he speaks. He's got a good head on him.
He does have a good. I'm a bit funny with Russell Brand there.
He's trying to make things better for the average man.
He is.
No doubt about it.
There's just certain ways that he goes about it, and I'm like, you're just kind of giving it a bad name sometimes. Like the stuff. There's a lot of shots of him like, oh, let's see if I can walk into this place and get thrown out. Well, what was your aim when you walked in there? You knew you was going to get chucked out.
No. There's two times of that happening. One was when he was trying to interview the banks in England, which was about a month ago, 2 months ago. The other one was when he had an appointment. No, he had an appointment to get into New York, to this place in New York.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him in. And they were saying he couldn't do this, couldn't do that, and he had like appointments and everything to be there and everything like that, and they were just being assholes to him.
Well, the first one, the bank one, though, is one that I've watched.
The bank one was only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and it's the one where he goes in, he doesn't have any kind of appointment or anything, and he walks in.
He's trying to talk to.
And he's trying. And
it's part of some thing that he was doing for someone else, some program that he was recording. For
and I feel like that was like one of those things where it's like, well.
He was doing. It was like a documentary that he's doing for somebody else.
Yeah.
Where they're talking about the financial bank crisis that happened and all of the money that the banks are stealing and the banker bonuses and everything.
But he had the right motives behind it. I just think that the way that kind of looked, to the outside public as like, oh, he's just an idiot. Like, and I felt that, like, as much as I am a big fan of what he does,
but at the same time, it also showed that they all had really bad things to hide. All he did was walk into a building. At the point when when the thingy happened, he just walked into the building.
Yeah.
He didn't even say he wanted to interview. Yeah. That's what happened. And all the security team thingy, and that's when he made an issue.
Yeah.
When all these security guards were dragging him around, chucking him out for walking in a building.
Yeah.
That anyone can walk in.
Yeah, it's true. I just wish that... I'm all for kind of what he's doing. I just kind of, I don't know, like some of the things you see. Like I watch a lot of the YouTube stuff. I watch a lot of the true stuff that he does. Really like what he says. But then some of the stuff that you see, you're like, oh, but I like what you're doing, but it doesn't look that way to a lot of the people. You know what I mean? Like. And I know that that's not what matters. That you want to appeal to.
Same thing happened with Martin Luther King and things like that, though. Like. All the protests and stuff he was doing at the time, everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Let's just get away." That's bad. I'm not comparing.
No,
them things.
I don't think he'd even compare himself
Gandhi and stuff. All the things he was, you know what I'm saying?
It's true. I just wish that a lot of I think there's different ways of going about some of the stuff that he does, and I think it would be more. Unfortunately, it's one of them things of it'd be nice to break out of the system, but unfortunately, you're in that system, so you need to fight it from the inside first. Before you can start doing that stuff. Otherwise, it's very, very easy for people to go for the government to go, he's an idiot, don't listen to him, and we listen. But if it's
No, they've tried it multiple times with the Sun newspaper and his truths and everything else is just getting bigger, and his sales with the books just getting bigger. I think the people are now getting opened up to what's actually happening.
well, the
with
internet's done that with
these
a lot of
these
people.
businesses, and it's terrifying to the government. So they're just on lockdown, trying to like do everything they can to sort of keep that power.
Yeah.
And it's what's it, Rupert Murdoch, who owns like pretty much every newspaper, and it's like it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. But the TTIP thing is something that I wanted to sort of glance on a little bit. So the TTIP's some sort of policy that the government are trying to pass. I think at the moment you can go and they've got millions of signatures against this thing, mine included, and basically it's a multifaceted issue.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's bad for it is the fact that the NHS will be privatised basically to I think US companies are just going to sell it all out to there, like fine, legally, and do what they want with it. And to like European countries that are lesser sort of like educated and everything like that. So that's one major issue. Another one was something to do with there was loads of different issues, loads of really like a lot of really bad issues, and you should go and just type TTIP into Google. But one that was sort of a really scary one is the fact that businesses are able to sue governments and countries for not letting them have stuff. So where this is the thing is, this has happened once before, I believe, in maybe Ecuador or something like that, and it was I think it was a fuel company or something like that. They wanted to dig into Ecuador and take all their oil and everything like that. And Ecuador were like, well, no, it's going to literally ruin. It was going to like destroy cities, and it was gonna actually like ruin the country and loads of things like that. And they were like, oh no. So the business sued Ecuador for something crazy. It was like something like half of Ecuador's full income for a year. You know what I mean? Like it was that amount or something like that. My facts and figures are probably wrong, but you should look this stuff up. And then that's a legal thing. So all these huge businesses that are sort of destroying our planet, doing all this fracking, all just awful stuff to our planet that shouldn't be done, they're giving them the power and just saying they can do whatever they want. Yeah. Go wild. Yeah, no, they can sue a government for not letting you steal their minerals. Yeah. It's fucking bullshit.
It is. It's been another one of those podcasts where it's gone quite a political...
Well, it was the angle. So who am I voting for? No one. Who are you voting for?
I'll still always vote Labour. I'd love to vote someone like Greenpeace, but I think it's a wasted vote. Not even in a bad way, but they're not going to get the backing. So you need
there's still stuff with that where it's still not totally.
I know,
I think. And I think
it's one of them things
called that's sort of running, I can't remember her name. But I think she seems to have the best heart in government.
But then I feel that their angle is so it's so one-dimensional. That's what they want. That kind of these other aspects.
Basically, we need to save the planet. We're killing it. It's going to be destroyed soon. It's fucked up already.
Yeah, then we can't play all our lovely games.
Exactly. So that was Gabe and Abel's.
That was Gabe and Abel.
Happy Hour. It was more than an hour.
Ain't one that happy.
No. No.
To be honest.
So if you want your topic sort of addressed on the show, let us know. Either tweet it to @Nintendo Sushi and follow us while you're there, or send it to hello@nintendosushi.com. So what can they do to kind of get this stuff early? Extra stuff.
So the Cooper Club, I'll go through it one more time really quickly. $1 a month.
$1 a month
gets you the audio podcast early. $5 a month gets you the audio podcast early, the video podcast early, and it gets you an extra podcast that we only record for the people who are $5 and up, our subscribers. $20 a month gets you all them things: the early audio, the early video, the extra podcast, and it gets you a 20-minute Skype conversation with us two every month. And the final one is the $35 one, which will get you some Nintendo Sushi merchandise sent to your door every month, which will be hat, t-shirts, mugs, all sorts, stuff like that, every month, and stuff like that. It'll also get you, and by the way, check out the shop and see the kind of things that you can get. It'll also get you the Skype conversation, 20-minute one. It'll also get you the extra podcast,
everything
the
else.
Early video, the early audio.
Right, so again, we know nothing about politics.
No, we don't.
Anything we said. I mean...
This is opinion.
Don't even get a pinch of salt.
No.
Don't even dirty the salt pot.
No.
We're not worth it.
No, we're not worthy.
Keep it.
We're not worthy.
Keep it groovy.
In the streets.
Keep it in the streets.
Keep it in the streets. That's where we need to do our politics. Street politics.
Street politics.
I'm gonna run for government with my street politics.
Street politics.
Everything
Sushi
will just
style.
be street.
We can
yeah.
plug it in and record things. It's
not my underwear. I am gonna complain though, because that laundry ain't come yet.
I'm gonna complain because you're taking ages, and it's probably not even in shot what you're doing right now. Okay.
Well, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Right. Yeah.
Ready?
You do the ad shit. I want to do the glory.